Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Welcome back, guys. And today we're answering the question, is the TS-54 good or bad? And we'll do so by watching this one battle. And if it's a good battle, then we will all know that the TS-54 is good. And if it is a bad battle, we will all be very aware and know definitively that it is bad, because that is how science works. All right, folks? So good battle, good. Bad battle, bad. It only takes one example, and let's prove it. That's not even close. What's going on here? I got a little wispy. All right. APA Woody, Clan GFLC, TS-54, Tier 8, all Tier 8 battle on the new, improved, is it though? Is it really improved? Not really. Airfield. But let's check out how Woody does this. He is running Bounty Vents, Turbo, and IA, a man after my own heart. This does not allow you. Plus he has food, so a bit of a tryhard, and a lot of APCR. A man after my own heart in terms of the IA, and off we go. Now, this is a very interesting tank. You notice that each shell does not take very long to reload. The alpha is low. Take a look at it. 280 for a heavy tank. But not bad. You have two of them, which means you're over 500 if you do the old double tap, double barrel shot. Woody is going to show us how to do that. It's another one of the X mechanics in the game. Actually, I don't know if you can use X on it. You can. It's another button, actually, I think, for that. I suppose you could re-key it over to X if you wanted. A lot of people put it on their mouse somewhere if you've got extra buttons on your mouse. But basically, you hold that button down, whatever it is that you've got it set to, and both barrels will fire at the same time. There is a little lockout, so it takes a little longer to reload and all that. But Woody gets a nice little result early on where they take out the silly Lorraine, who for some reason just drives way forward, gets hit, gets lit on fire, gets hit a couple more times, and now is out of the game. So Woody's going to use that double shot a couple times, and we're going to see the turret used on this tank. It's got really pretty good armor. A little bit surprised there he didn't just take a shot on the Gonzalo. A little bit of a coughing fit right there. I have to sort that out through post-production, my friends, post-production. TS5 is now moving in. We're going to take a shot. It looked like maybe you were going to go for the lower plate, and then we decided to track. And what's interesting about this tank, many things, in fact, are interesting, but one of the interesting things that we're going to interestingly talk about right now is that because its reload is relatively quick, there's the old double shot, and we get a double shot of nothing right there. You'll notice the two X's that go on to the two shots there. But what were we talking about? Oh, the reload. Because it's relatively quick, tracking is actually an option with this tank. Very interesting. We're going to see him use that to good effect several times here. He declines to go fight in the heavy area, which is up here in the north, and comes down to the south and works this little ridge. This tank has a really good turret. Low profile relatively. Pretty good hull armor. Nice armor layout really overall, especially for the hold down meta and game. And then we find the Curavets, which I don't know, not really sure what we're doing there. Maybe just trying to get a shot without taking one back. But the Curavets has gone AFK or has quit, or who knows what's going on there, but he gets farmed. And we got a nice little 635 damage early on. It's a 3v3, or at least a 3 down on each side right now, so pretty even in terms of hit points, although it is showing that Woody's team is down a little bit more with 2,600. Hard to tell, although he's got just about all of them in his draw distance, so that's probably a relatively good guess as to what the actual situation is. Woody's going to move back around here, and it looks like he's sort of realizing the north side is having some trouble. So he comes over this way, and this is an interesting little sequence. I'm really surprised he survives it based on where all the tanks are. You know, we got the Progetto sitting up over there that he's looking at, thinking about taking a shot. Tries for the double shot and then abandons it, bails out. Notice that you can hear it, and you see the two shells coming together, and then they're both going to shoot. That's the little animation that's going on. You let go of the button, it will stop doing that. He's going to come around here, put a nice shot for a kill onto the super, and now we're really kind of hanging out right here. I'm really surprised the several tanks that are sitting up here on the sniper hill didn't start shooting across right here. And there's also a 122 TM, which we're about to make the acquaintance of, that's sitting right here as well on that sniper hill. A bit of an exposed position. We also have a TS-5 that might be able to come up behind us right here if the dude had a clue. But right now, not a whole lot going on. So Woody's going to come around, and we are going to double shot that guy. So he takes a big hit for 563. So if they both hit and they both pen, you can do some significant damage with the two 280 Alpha guns right here. Now, so Woody's kind of fighting several directions at once. Puts a nice shot into that guy, track and damage. Very surprised once again he just didn't get shredded. And it's not for lack of trying. It looks like the Progetto's at least trying to shoot him. Gets a bounce. But he's kind of busy shooting, that IS-3A that sort of wandered into the middle. Now they get rid of him. Notice while I'm yapping away how fast the reload is on this thing. Really, you take a shot, about 4, 5, 6 seconds later, you have your second shot back. And even if you shoot 2, I want to say it's around 12 total or so before you can get everything up and running. So you're almost never really out of the game. It almost fights always like a cyclical. Maybe a little bit slightly less good. A little bit, what am I trying to say here? Not quite as good, I guess, as you might expect a cyclical. Especially, say, the Carnarvon or one of these other British heavy tanks that has a really fast reload at only 280 Alpha. That are kind of pew-pew guns. So it's nothing like that in terms of how fast it'll shoot. But it is a little bit surprising, based on it being a 2-barrel, how fast it can shoot. Does that make any sense? I don't think so. Oh well, I tried. I tried to make sense. The VK is in a tough spot here. He notices that Woody has showed up, but he's now sort of surrounded. Big stack of Woody's buddies hanging out down in the south down there, and here's the tracking thing going on. Nice job there, tracks the dude. I might have just gone for damage on that one. I don't know. But helps his friend put some more damage on it, brings it down to 75 hit points. Doesn't quite save the Emil. That's unfortunate. The reason he's not pushing out into the open right here, fellas, is this open spot here is targetable by the Progetto and the SMV back here. So that was a good decision, I would say, not pushing in. TS-5 shows up, sort of wandering around, kind of following Woody, maybe thinking he could come around and sneak up behind him. 7502 is sort of busy, so Woody spins around and he's going to go ahead and put a double shot of love into this guy. Boom. So there's a big hit with a fire. Automatic fire extinguisher saves the guy. Does a little switcherino to a side scrape. Pulls out and knocks out the TS-5. I thought that was a good idea because that Emil is hanging out down there in the southeast. And if we'd have just come driving around the corner, may have had shots on us. 7501 still alive, so he turns around. Looks like the Kari has plenty of hit points to go in there and knock that guy out. And all of a sudden, things are looking really good. We got a advantage in about 2,200 hit points. The 122 decides to come out. We go for the track and the shot. We only get the shot. Long reload on the 122. We have our second shell, and we nuke that guy. IS-22 takes a look, but he's not fast enough to get a shot. And I kind of like this. I might have just snuck back around the corner right there, just in case that Emil decided to come out there and get shots, but we're going to find out he's actually fallen back to the back of the cap. So Woody's following up with his buddies. They're sort of pushing in. You got a bit of the mine thing going on, but just kind of pay attention to what goes down here because all the tanks that are left have some pretty good hit points. We've got the Progetto on full. Looks like the SMV has good hit points, and the Emil, I'm not sure if he's lost any, but he's on pretty good hit points. And these three goofballs are going to sort of run up in there and just watch their hit points disappear. Takes a shot at that guy, doesn't quite get anything. And there's the SMV. So he's up on cap. Pretty quickly the Emil's going to show up, and between those two with their autoloaders and the Progetto with an autoloader, this is kind of a dangerous situation. There goes the G-Sor. The G-Sor eats it, so he's done. They get a few points off the SMV, and Woody's kind of figure out how to get his gun in the game here. So he's going to take the road less traveled the long way round. I think he might have had a shot on that guy right there, potentially. I thought you were going to come up there and take this guy on. Probably pretty good chance of not really getting penned by the SMV, especially for the turret. But Woody's going to take the long way around here. Just speed this up. Comes all the way around. Now, I want you to watch this engagement with the Emil that's coming up. This is actually a pretty good one. Woody's a two-shot to this guy. Comes around the corner, finds him, rams the brake on, shoots him, gets a track. That'll work. Guy fixes it, and he's going to go for, he thinks about a shot. Dude bounces, and he goes for another track. I like that because he doesn't want the Emil to get up on him. and he saw him burn his kit, so that's going to give him a little bit of time. Now here's that reload thing I'm talking about. He had about 12 seconds to get another shell, so he's loaded, tracks him, waiting for his buddies to get around. They're still messing with the CC-67, but here comes the Kari. Puts a shell into his hole that time, and really just in the cyclical mode at that point. Not a great DPM for a 280 Alpha. I thought you might track him right there. A little bit surprised you didn't. Get a little bit lucky there. The old double shot of love. I think it looked like one actually hit the ground, and the other one hits the mill. And we're going to take him out with the Kari. Does that guy ram him? Yeah, he rams him. Nice. So that leaves the CC-67. We have 4,000 damage. Now, you'll see the cards. This is a 1,800 base experience game. So 4,000, 59 damage, 792 assist for almost 5,000 total, and 6 kills with the victory. So nicely done, Woody. All right, so what is the verdict? TS-54 is overpowered. It might be. Interestingly, the stat sites do not have any information on this yet. Usually only takes 3 or 4 days before you can get the 3-day average on it, and I don't see that. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. I also don't see the Japanese TDs yet. So maybe in the next couple weeks we'll start to see some stats on how they are doing overall against other tanks. But there you go, the TS-54. I should have another replay or two for you in the near future off of that one. But appreciate Woody sending that in. That's a really great game right there. Nice job with the double barrel use. You actually saw him abort it once because it just wasn't going to be a good shot. That's something to definitely think about. And this tank just has options with its relatively fast reload. Theoretically, one of the weaknesses of a double barrel is the long reload, but when you lower the alpha and then you speed up the reload, that starts to go away, and you just have a more flexible tank overall with the TS-54. Plus, it has a pretty dang good armor profile, man. Not bad at all. All right, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We will see ya.